Welcome to the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast, your go-to source for the latest developments, trends, and regulatory changes in the industry. I'm your host, Steve Hamoan, here to provide you with insights sourced from reputable news outlets to help you stay informed and make well-informed decisions.
This podcast is brought to you by Real Approved Inc., a trusted mortgage brokerage dedicated to helping Canadians achieve their homeownership dreams. Visit realapproved.ca to learn more about how our experienced team can assist you with your mortgage needs. Let's dive into today's episode.
Let's start with some concerning news regarding mortgage delinquencies in Ontario. According to new data from Equifax Canada, the percentage of Ontarians missing mortgage payments has reached a record high of 0.24% for the first quarter of 2025.
That sounds worrying, Steve. What are the reasons behind this increase?
Rebecca Oakes, Vice President of Advanced Analytics at Equifax Canada, attributes this rise to a few factors. One major reason is the large number of mortgages opened during the pandemic with high balances and low rates. As those rates rise, people are finding it challenging to meet their payments.
It's a difficult situation for many, especially with the high home prices in areas like the Greater Toronto Area. It's no surprise that people are struggling.
Exactly, Janine. And to add to that, Ontario is also dealing with a rising unemployment rate, which puts further strain on homeowners. The province's close ties to the United States mean it's also more vulnerable to economic uncertainties, like the ongoing trade war.
It's really unfortunate. People prioritize their mortgage payments, so to see delinquencies rise like this indicates serious financial stress. It seems like people might be missing other payments first, like credit cards or car loans, to keep their homes.
That's right. Mortgage payments are usually the last thing people default on. Nationally, credit card delinquencies are increasing, with over 1.4 million consumers missing at least one payment in the first quarter of the year.
It's a tough time for many Canadians. Are there any signs of improvement on the horizon?
There are some shifts happening. New mortgage originations are up 66% in Ontario compared to last year, and about 58% nationally. This increase is partly due to what's being called the Great Renewal of pandemic-era mortgages, as people shop around for better rates.
It's good to hear that people are looking for better options, but it must be daunting for first-time buyers. Even with interest rates slightly coming down, the average loan size is still increasing, making it tough for new buyers.
Absolutely. Rebecca Oakes pointed out that new mortgages for first-time buyers in Ontario are up 38%, but that's more of a recovery from previous lows rather than a real boom. The market is still challenging for newcomers.
I hope things will start to ease up soon. It's important for people to understand the full financial picture before jumping into homeownership.
Definitely, Janine. Being informed and prepared is crucial. That's why we're here, to provide our listeners with the insights they need to navigate these challenging times. Let's shift gears to some intriguing news from London, Ontario, where a local developer is taking a proactive step to stimulate the housing market and support first-time buyers. Ironstone Building Company has partnered with Libro Credit Union to launch a program called HomeStart. This initiative offers up to $100,000 in zero-interest loans to ease the down payment burden for qualified buyers.
That's an interesting approach, Steve. With the housing market cooling and inventory on the rise, it's clear that something needs to be done to encourage hesitant buyers. How does this program work exactly?
Well, Janine, through the HomeStart initiative, buyers who finance their new home through Libro Credit Union can apply the interest-free loan toward their down payment. For instance, on a $700,000 home, where a typical 20% down payment would be $140,000, eligible buyers could receive $100,000 interest-free. This leaves them responsible for only $40,000 upfront to qualify.
That certainly sounds appealing for first-time buyers struggling with down payments. But what are the terms of this loan?
The loan comes with flexible terms. Borrowers won't need to make payments on the loan for the first 10 years. After that, it becomes payable at second mortgage rates. If the buyer sells the home before the 10-year mark, the loan becomes immediately due. Interestingly, Ironstone will forgive 25% of the loan if the buyer purchases a second property from them within 5 years.
It seems like a win-win situation for both buyers and the developer. Though some might be concerned about the future interest rates after 10 years, still, it's a creative solution to a pressing problem. Firas Halabi from Libro Credit Union mentioned that down payments are the biggest hurdle for many would-be homeowners, not the monthly payments.
That's right, Janine. Halabi pointed out that many individuals are already paying rent in excess of $3,000 to $4,000 a month, but struggle to come up with a down payment. This program aims to bridge that gap and make homeownership more attainable for those individuals.
It's a smart move, especially considering that most buyers typically move within 7 years of their first home purchase. This could help accelerate timelines for those looking to move up in the property ladder. However, it's important to note that the offer is limited to a select number of Ironstone's townhomes, condos, and single-family homes, and the program will end once the designated inventory is sold.
Absolutely, Janine. It's an innovative approach to tackle the challenges of the current housing market. It will be interesting to see how many buyers take advantage of this program and how it impacts the local market in London. The Ontario government has recently come under scrutiny for scrapping affordable housing requirements in Toronto after facing pushback from 3 real estate investment trusts. Documents obtained by the Toronto Star reveal that these trusts influenced the decision, raising concerns about the future of affordable housing in the city.
It's quite a significant development, Steve. The City of Toronto originally planned to convert nearly 70 parcels of employment lands into residential areas, with conditions to ensure a percentage of the new housing would be affordable. However, the province altered the city's requirements, changing the language from required to encouraged.
Yes, Janine. The change has sparked debate, particularly since it could potentially jeopardize around 5,000 affordable housing units. The province's decision came after receiving submissions from at least 3 real estate investment trusts who argued that the affordability quotas could hinder development.
From a community perspective, it's concerning. Affordable housing is critical for many families in Toronto, and removing these requirements might make it even harder for them to find suitable homes. It feels like the needs of the people are being overshadowed by business interests.
That's a valid point, Janine. The trusts, including CT REIT and Choice REIT, expressed that the city's requirements were overly restrictive and could deter development entirely. They argued that such mandates could act as a dangerous disincentive during a housing crisis, contradicting both provincial and municipal goals to expedite housing availability.
While I understand the need to remove barriers for development, we can't ignore the potential social impact. Housing should be accessible to everyone, not just to those who can afford premium prices. It's a delicate balance to strike between encouraging development and ensuring affordability.
The province, under Premier Doug Ford, has been clear about its intent to cut red tape and regulations to foster a more conducive environment for development. However, this decision has reignited discussions about the province's power over municipal decisions, as highlighted by Paul Hess, a planning expert from the University of Toronto.
It's a challenging situation. The province's overarching authority can sometimes override local decisions that are meant to protect residents' interests. In the end, it's about finding that middle ground where both development and affordability can coexist.
Indeed, Janine. The memorandum from Toronto's chief planner, Jason Thorne, emphasized that the city had agreed to the land conversions precisely because of the trade-offs it had negotiated, including the affordable housing provisions. Now, with those provisions altered, the city's vision for balanced development is at risk.
I sincerely hope that ongoing discussions will lead to solutions that don't leave vulnerable residents behind. It's crucial for policymakers to remember the human aspect of housing beyond just the numbers and profits.
Absolutely. As we continue to monitor this situation, it will be important to see how these developments impact Toronto's housing market and what steps, if any, the city can take to address these challenges. We'll keep our listeners updated as more information becomes available. Now, let's discuss some essential considerations for prospective homebuyers that are often overlooked. According to a recent article by the Canadian Press, many buyers forget crucial steps in the home buying process, which can lead to unexpected challenges down the line.
That's right, Steve. It's not just about having a down payment ready. Sandra Pike, a realtor in Halifax, emphasizes that less than half of the buyers she encounters are fully prepared to purchase a home. It's a big decision, and there are several pieces to the puzzle that need to be in place.
Absolutely, Janine. Pike highlights the importance of having a pre-approval rather than just a pre-qualification. This ensures that buyers know exactly what they can afford and prevents them from making offers they can't follow through on. It's about being ready to commit when the right property comes along.
And beyond just the financials, buyers should be aware of other costs like closing fees, inspections, and even furniture. Robert Saunders from OwnRight advises buyers to look at the full cost of ownership, including property maintenance and other responsibilities that come with home ownership.
That's a good point, Janine. Many buyers, especially first-timers, might not consider the lifestyle changes that come with purchasing a home. For example, moving from an urban area to a rural one might seem appealing due to lower prices, but it can mean longer commutes and fewer conveniences.
Exactly, Steve. Sandra Pike notes that during the pandemic, she saw many buyers move to rural areas like Nova Scotia from Ontario and British Columbia. However, they weren't always prepared for the realities of rural living, such as the distance to amenities and the potential need for major home repairs.
Additionally, Pike advises that buyers should plan to stay in their new home for at least 3 to 5 years. This allows them to build equity and potentially offset the costs of buying and selling. It's about making a long-term commitment rather than expecting quick gains.
And for condo buyers, having a professional review the status certificate is crucial. It provides insights into financial and legal aspects of the condo corporation that could affect future costs. Many buyers are caught off guard by unexpected fees or maintenance issues that arise later on.
In summary, being prepared means more than just having the money for a down payment. It involves understanding the full scope of home ownership, from financial commitments to lifestyle changes. As Pike suggests, having a supportive team of professionals can make all the difference in navigating this process successfully.
That's right, Steve. It's about asking the right questions and not being afraid to seek help. Home ownership is a major step, and being informed can help buyers make the best decisions for their future.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast. We hope you found today's insights valuable as you navigate the world of mortgages and real estate.
Before you go, a quick reminder, Real Approved is here to make your mortgage journey smoother. Whether you're buying your first home or refinancing, their experienced team is ready to guide you with personalized support every step of the way. Visit realapproved.ca to get started and take the next step toward achieving your homeownership goals. Catch you next time and stay informed with the latest industry insights.